Good afternoon, grade 10s. Today we're going to start with probability. En kom ons gaan kyk gou na 'n bietjie terminologie rondom waarskynlikheid. Waarskynlikheid werk op 'n skaal tussen 0 en 1. So if there's no chance of something happening, then we've got a 0. For instance, what's the chances of the sky to fall and all of us will wear blue hats? The chances for that to happen is 0. Wat is die kanse dat dit dalk môre gaan reën as die weervoorspelling sê daar is 10% kans om te reën? Then the probability of raining will be 10% or 1 on 10. So die waarskynlikheidsskaal is 'n desimale getal and we can give it in percentages as well. That's the probability scale. So if you think in terms of a coin, wat is die kanse dat 'n muntstuk op kop gaan land? Then we'll say it's 50%. That's the scale of probability. And then a few more terminology that you must know. An experiment is a natural or man-made occurrence with different possible outcomes. 'n Experiment is 'n natuurlike of mensgemaakte gebeurtenis waar daar verskillende tipe van uitkomste kan wees. Goed, wat is 'n gebeurtenis? That's a set of outcomes. Dit is 'n versameling uitkomste. Probability, the number of outcomes on the total number of outcomes. Waarskynlikheid is jou aantal gebeurtenisse op jou totale aantal gebeurtenisse. En relatiewe frekwensie van 'n gebeurtenis is die frekwensie van die gebeurtenis op die totale kere wat die eksperiment herhaal word. Okay, that's terminology that you guys must know. Let's do a few examples. The first one, a 6-sided die is rolled. What's the probability that it lands on an even number? Well, all the possible outcomes for a 6-sided die will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The possibility for it to land on an even number will be 2, 4, 6. So if you want to work out the probability, it's the number of outcomes, the probability of that happening, it's 1, 2, 3 on 6, that will be a half. Very, very easy. Kom ons gaan kyk na die volgende ouetjie. 'n Muntstuk word opgeskiet. Wat is die kanse om 2 koppe agter mekaar te kry? 'n Muntstuk word 2 maal opgeskiet. Wat is die kanse om 2 koppe agter mekaar te kry? Let's look at the total possibilities that there can be if a coin is being tossed twice. So let's see, it can either be a head and after that a head, or it can be a head or a tail. Or it can be a tail and a head, or it can be a tail and a tail. Okay, that's the possibilities if you toss a coin 2 times. So it can either be one of the 4. So now they ask, what's the possibility of it landing or getting 2 heads twice? So, possibility of getting only 1 out of the 4. So it's 1 possibility out of the 4 in total. Goed. Kom ons kyk nou na nog 'n voorbeeld en dit is 'n voorbeeld van relatiewe frekwensie. Ons sê 'n muntstuk word 100 000 keer gegooi. Die muntstuk land 49996 keer. Hy word 100 000 keer gegooi en hy land 49996 keer op sy kop. Bereken die relatiewe frekwensie van hierdie gebeurtenis. die relatiewe frekwensie van hierdie gebeurtenis. Bepaal of die teoretiese waarskynlikheid of dit die teoretiese waarskynlikheid sal nader. Okay, let's look at the relative frequency and the theoretical frequency. Because a coin got a head and a tail, the chances of it landing on a head or landing on the tail will be a half. So the theoretical probability will be a half. That will be the theoretical, die teoretiese waarskynlikheid. Omdat daar een kop en een ster is. But now we did an experiment. So the relative frequency, if I throw a coin or if I roll a coin or toss a coin 100,000 times, it lands on the head 49,996 times. So the relative frequency is not half, but it's 0,49995. So the question is now, die vraag is, bepaal die relatiewe frekwensie en sê of dit die teoretiese waarskynlikheid nader. Die relatiewe frekwensie is 0,49995. Theoretical is 0,5. So is it trying to reach the theoretical probability? Yes, for sure. It's trying to reach, because if you round this, it's also going to be 0,5. So it's definitely trying to reach the theoretical probability. Goed. Okay, 'n dobbelsteen word 12.000 keer gerol. Ongeveer hoeveel kere verwag jy dat die dobbelsteen op 'n faktor van 6 gaan land? Okay, let's repeat that in English because this is a little bit of thinking. The question over there, a die is rolled 12,000 times. Okay. Approximately how many times do you expect the die to land on a factor of 6? Let's quickly write down the factors of 6. Okay? And after that, all the possible outcomes on a die. Okay, factors of 6 will be 1, 2, that's a factor of 6 is the number that goes into it without a remainder. So a factor is 1, 2, 3 en dan 6. Dis die faktore van 6. So, alles op die dobbelsteen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 en 6. So wat is die kans dat 'n dobbelsteen gaan land op 'n faktor van 6? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. The chances are 4 out of 6, and that's 2/3. That's the possibility of this happening. Okay, that's 2/3. Now, that's the theoretical probability. But now, we've got the relative frequency. Let's look into that. Hulle sê, die dobbelsteen is 12.000 keer. 12.000 keer. The question is, die is rolled. How many times do you expect the die to land on the factor of 6? So theoretically, there's 2/3 chances of it landing on a factor. So if the die is thrown 12,000 times, then we can equal it to 12,000. So wat doen ons met 3 om hom met 12,000 te maal? Ons maal hom met 4,000, so ons gaan dit met 2 ook doen. 2 maal 4,000 is, kom ons maak hier die x. Therefore, you expect the die to land 2 times 4,000 is going to be 8,000 times on a factor of 6. Dit is hoeveel keer jy verwag dat dit moontlik sal kan gebeur, want jy het die teoretiese waarskynlikheid omgeskakel in 'n eksperimentele een waar ons die relatiewe frekwensie kry. Goed. The last example that I'm going to do is the letters of the word excellence. So let's write that down. Weet julle hoe om dit te spel? Excellence. Ons kyk gou-gou. Excellence. The word excellence. Okay, this letters of this word is being write on different cards and is being put in a box. Dit word op verskillende kaartjies geskryf en dit word in 'n boks gesit en die vraag is: bepaal die waarskynlikheid wat daar is dat jy as jy jou hand in die boks indruk, jy 'n E gaan trek. Determine the probability if you put your hand in the box randomly that you'll take out an E. Now let's quickly look at this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters in the box on cards. So the total letters equals 10. Out of the 10, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 E's. So what's the probability of drawing an E? 4 out of 10. That gives you 2 out of 5. Very easy. Bepaal die waarskynlikheid om die letter X of C te kry. X or C. There's an X, there's a C, there's another C. So in total om 'n X of 'n C te kry, gaan ek sê is daar 1, 2, 3 uit 10. That's the chances of getting either one of the two. Goed. Volgende een. Suppose the letter N is taken out of the box and not placed back into the box. What is the probability of now getting an E? We take the letter N out of the box. Nou kom ons gaan doen dit nou. What's the chances now of getting an E? Putting your hand into the box and drawing out an E. So nou het ek nie meer 10 nie, maar ek het 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's still 4 E's, 4 out of 9. That's the probability of drawing an E out of the box. Goed. Kom ons gaan oefen daar by waarskynlikheid. Exercise 1. Go and practice it. Probability is easy. Don't make it more difficult than it is. Just study your theory and then you just think as simple as possible. Sien julle later.